I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Hey yo, yellow Paul fathers who are hold the harders, buns sperm down around ya. Me yellow all the genuine fathers. Over the years, you hear me bigging up the mothers. But right I know it's about the hard-working fathers, holding down the family like soldiers on the borders. Well, some are carpenter and some are farmers. Some are police and teachers, some of them are warders. But me say all of them are hard-working fathers, holding down the family like soldiers on the borders. Hey yo, yellow.
Yellow. That was the Mundi Kilo. Yes. Welcome, good afternoon. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. This is our Father's Day edition of the show. We're hoping that we'd be able to do it on Monday, but Monday is a jam-packed weekend as well. Start to the week, sorry. Jam-packed a start to the week because we have a couple of things. The JPL games, and we also have the U-20 second game. So we thought that we'd take today to do our recap from a tactical perspective because I felt like we were a little bit hard on the youngsters given their preparation time, the fact that they were playing the first game as a team together competitively, that most of the teams were already in Honduras before them. They had some delays. They played against one of the top teams in the U20s, and they got a point. And we were very hard and I think very divisive on some of our comments concerning them. And I thought, let me get somebody on who saw it from a tactical perspective, rewatch the game as well, and look at some of the things and break that down. And then hopefully, we can get a better perspective to at least offer some encouragement to the players. But before we get into all of that and we await our guests, want to welcome all of you. I know it's Father's Day and you may be engaged in the life of your kids, and so it may not be one of those shows where we have a lot of persons in the comment section. Totally understood. Listen, the priority today is to spend time with your family. All right, I have done that, and as this is finished, I'm going to be with my family. So the men, this is a day when you dedicate time to your family. So unless you have permission from your kids or your spouse, you probably should not be tuning in to this at this time. And if your spouse says to you or your kid said to you, leave Man in the Man program alone and give us today, listen, follow them, right? Because when management is not around, they will always be there for you. But big up to my father, and all the fathers out there. Listen, men sometimes get a hard time, but there are some good fathers out there who work hard to ensure that their kids live a good life, have a good life, and train them up in the way they should go. Um, I'm grateful for my father because I could have taken other paths, but they were there. My father and my mother ensured that I kind of stayed down a particular path. Even the community that I lived in, you know, um, they looked out for me. They always said, Baller, youth, you have your education, you play football. There was a group of us that were friends. And though it was a volatile community, they tried their best to get all of us steered on a particular path. And I must say that though we came from very difficult backgrounds, I mean, that entire group all have graduated from university and are gainfully employed and making a difference in society. So sometimes you may not only parent your child, but you have fatherly advice that you give to other kids. I want to commend those persons as well. Because there are a lot of youngsters out there that need to hear from you, they need to hear from me, so their lives can be steered down. You understand me? Can be steered down a different path. And we need that. People really need some men to step up now and help some of the youth. You understand me? To reason with them and talk with them. You understand me? Really, we really need to do that because it's tough, some of these youth, they don't have any good support system around them. Maybe the father is absent. Maybe the father is even dead. The mother is probably young, probably in her teens or early 20s, and she has a child, but she don't know parenting. And it takes persons like us to sometimes see some of those youths and talk to them. So when I got involved in the community that I live in, I got involved to help some youngsters. And I remember when I just started, it was a very difficult journey because I took some youngsters who most people would say they can't play football. I took them, struggled with them, and we got all the way to the Super League. But the most meaningful thing out of that is to see how many of them have gone on to further their education. You understand me? In colleges, how many of them have become professional footballers who operate and own their own businesses? Because at the end of the day, they may not have made it all as successful footballers, but so many of the lives have been changed. And so I make that your priority. You understand me? Add value to people's life. We can't allow our society to keep going down this downward spiral. And you're smart enough. Most of us that I interact with, most of you that I interact with in this space, you're smart enough to give sound advice to somebody. You understand me? Home or abroad. Let's do that, man. Let's operate in a deeper level of wisdom and teach the youth that we can't lean on our own understanding, but we must acknowledge the Creator and allow the Creator to direct our path. Must remember that. And when we need help, we can look to the hills, for there comes our help, and our help comes from the Lord. So respect to all the fathers, you understand me? Because no mother can be a father, and no father can be a mother. So today we big up all of the good father them out there. You understand me? So let me heal the persons in the space. All right. I see Fresh God up and active as the usual. Bless up, Fresh God. I don't know that you have a youth yet, but when you have a youth, I get the feeling that you're gonna be a good father. You understand me, Fresh God? Cause you learn some things in this space. So big up, Fresh God. Mark Chambers, bless up. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Happy Father's Day. God bless you. Yo, bless up. God bless you. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was it. Yo, shout out. But Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer. I grew up listening to a lot of Bounty Killer and Beanie Man. I used to know all of this song. I used to know the songs, people, because I'm telling you, how I grew up, it wasn't easy, people. It wasn't easy. But you know, that's why, where we're coming from. Some of you don't even know that in the university, I used to be on the street, sell all newspaper, So when you get them places, them time that we used to listen to a lot of Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, Yeah. I used to love this Bounty Killer where I'm saying, um, very good. No giant large and it no giant dirt. This man, yeah. True me say spirit. Boy think a joke and try style. Make shirt. Who fool him up and tell him it to the work. But no, in birth. Hey, we used to love the Bounty Killer there. Long time. Yeah, we used to love. I used to love those songs. You understand me? That's how I grew up, But then you can't some of them sing about social media, you understand me? You understand me? Yeah. But big up Rob Smith. Hey Rob Smith, listen. Listen, I must say, like, some of the people, I have to call them out because they really speak honestly and fairly. And Rob Smith is one of those persons that he's very balanced in his views. He's not on the local side or overseas side of the football dialogue. So big up Rob Smith. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Yeah, man, bless up, man. Balotelli seem like him in some coaching thing in him. Always have some good coaching advice and stuff. Tuffy Rudy. Bless up, man, always. Tennessee. Big up Tennessee. Tennessee, the caller. Broadman Security 33. Good sound. Yeah, man. Blessed Father's Day to you. Braxton, I know that you're going to be here in Braxton. You don't know. Hey, people, Braxton Irene, big coach, I mean, was at Constant Spring as well. You understand me? Out from over the east there. But, this is like one of his sons who are going to be on with me. So you know that, big pedigree. You understand me? Dre, any weather. Dre, how the Father's Day thing I wanted to send to you, but I wasn't sure that you're a father yet, You understand me? I don't know if the child is in progress or you don't start yet. So I wasn't sure. So that's why I never really understand me. But if you are, brethren, happy Father's Day. If not, you understand me? Rob Smith, again, Davian Dixon, bless up. All right, Alex, yeah, we know your thing, go, Alex. You're not around us yet. Yeah, yes, Dre. Eagle and the Hawk them surround me. No, man. There's a one but long time me riding ways. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Me used to know them song there, no. Me never ride west with no man. I was me and the Bandolier gang. Yeah, man. Yeah. We grew up around that. People, a song name. If people them back in the days would know this, and anybody who know like Manningsville Road, that a lot of the studios up there, them time they have like youth like Algebra, Predator, Rimhead. You understand me? The whole of them youth there used to be up in the place. Them time they have Flower Gun. Everybody up the side there, Pinchers. You have Small Axe Sound down a big yard and Cassava. Them time the music up them side there, people. We used to know the artists them are here, them bad. Yeah. Yeah. Big up, Baggio. But you, them young, they don't really remember some of them things there, Yeah, man. Kevin Reed, heal up. What? 3 kids under 5 may have money. Wife allowing me to sleep today. Just awake. Oh, whoa. Hey, listen, 3 kids under 5, bro. That must be difficult. Yeah. No, man, Leon, can't believe my eyes a new song them, man. Me I tell about back in the days. Me I tell about back in the days, man. Me not tell about them. Me not tell about no. You have all this guy named Mad Cabra. Mad Cabra do a song where him say, he used to go up on stage and say, acapella. First time watch all Mad Cabra. Them time we used to jump over fence and go in and show. Stand me as a look at you. Understand me? You do a song where him say, Get a life nice, but sometimes tough. Every day the youth get up and the money them brooks it up. You know, time me reach halfway on the ladder and stuck, and nobody there to help push me up. Preaching to Mr. Poor Poverty and Mr. Punga. Punga is the man who was once Prime Minister. You know, long the road one fix boy, your NAA pass and act like them no cater. Them raise up the price of the rice, the chicken back on the flour to only a price where the rich can conquer. Then treat poor people like slave with two master. Work 8 to 7, do overtime after. And out of that, we can pay rent in our water. Get a life nice, but sometimes tough. Every day the youth get on the money, them brocks it up. You know, time. Yeah, man. Me used to know them song there, you know. So in a school now, I don't know. Even they hear me sound like this, and I know, so we used to can swat things. You understand me? But big up, Lee Young, big up. Happy Father's Day again. Ian, bless up, bless. Formula, bless up, Sir Blair. You understand me? Stefan Wright, bless up, bless up, bless up. Boss Thomas, all healing. Winston Fowling, heal up, man. Yeah, man. Yep, yep. Yeah, man. 80s are my thing, you know. 80s. In them time, the pepper seed. You understand me? Pepper seed, rhythm and them rhythm. Them youth and I know them thing, them time them song did nice. You know, nowadays I can't listen to them. Like first thing I can hear what some of these songs are saying. Them money talk too fast to me. And the music, them not sound like a reggae music. So even if I wanted to, I can't listen to some of the music now. But some of you may not have shared your thoughts yesterday. Listen, I watched about the game, people. I broke down the game, people, and I think we were harsh on some of the players. Like I think some of the comments about how we looked, given all the circumstances, was bordering on embarrassing. And the kind of sentiments that were expressed even towards the coach, I think were unfair. I think, given the circumstances, when I look at the other games and who we went up against, I really believe that we could have won, the game could have been better, and we need to just give them a little bit more time, and they are going to get it right, and they are going to look better. I think there could have been some tactical adjustment, but there were tactical adjustments in the game. I think we may not have. So there were different tactical changes in terms of how the team played, and when you look at the game, you and you break it down in slow motion. Let me say it this way: you would see why, like the changes were made. Like I wondered why Malachi Douglas was substituted. But when you begin to stop the play and look at the positioning of the team, especially in that phase of the game around the 20th minute when we were pressing in 1-4-1-4. All right, because we played a couple of different formation in attack and in defense. When we were playing the 1-4-1-4, Malachi Douglas was so deep that the ball came over into the middle third, over the front four. The Costa Rica had a lot of space in there. He was always too close to the defense, and I think that is what led to his substitution. But if you watch the game, if you watch the game in the fast pace and all of that, you probably will not notice that. So we're going to show you some of that so you can see it. I'm also going to show you the difference that Jamari Clark made when he came on, and why, as long as he was healthy, he should have started. I'm going to show you that as well. But let me take some of your thoughts and your comments, though, because I don't want to share with you all things. I want to hear if you actually broke the game down. And let me hear what you have to say, and then I'll come back. Formula Sports. Yeah, man, large up Formula in the building. Happy Father's Day to the real ones. Jason, it looked like you were going to say Jason Geldins. That's your surname, Jason? Is it Jason Geldins? Is that your surname? I am not happy with the tactics of Mr. Gill, but he's a coach, and I wish him all the best. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, hold on. We have, I guess, let me see if I can get this call. Just hold on, people. Give me a sec. All right, so we're trying to set up a presentation to show you some of the things, because I think when you see some of the tactical adjustment, then probably you do. I agree. Like I said, I did say that I would have started Jordan Clark, Zion Scarlett, sorry, and Jamari Clark as a double forward, because I think both players are good. I will admit that Jamari Clark, when he came on, made a major difference to how the team played and how the team looked. All right. So we're going to show you some of those things and where the coach can make adjustments, because that's what the sport is about, right? Playing the game and making adjustments, and look at some of the good things that we saw. I will say this to you, that I had a couple of persons, scouts and a team manager in Europe that I know in uh, in a good enough league, and they were very impressed with the youngster, the 16-year-old, who played at centre back, Romain Blake, and many people were saying that he should not have started. But when you look at his positioning, his ability on the ball, and the fact that he's a short player, you really realize that there is some quality there. And I'm thinking that he looks even more composed than some players that I have seen in the national team. And I know people are going to tell me it's two different levels, which is true. But listen, he looks the same. He looks as composed in the Premier League, as composed in the schoolboy league. Whenever you see him, this is how he looks. All right. One thing that we can say, man, is our midfield needs work. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we need to make adjustment. All right. This one says, man, it's only one game, but if the keeper play like that again with his ball distribution and composure, he belongs on the senior team with the 6 developmental players. I have said this before, that I think the first time I saw him, I said that he should have been drafted into the team. I am hoping that after the U-20, regardless of what happened, he should be a part of the senior setup. He needs to be around the senior team. He's one player that I would personally bring into the senior setup. That's me. I think he's that good. I think he is good enough to make the senior team, not as a starter, maybe not even as a second string, but just to be there, to challenge those and to learn and to grow. I think so, right? Yep. So, all right. So we're gonna show you some stuff shortly. But so I do agree with you, Tuffy Rudy. Mark says we never get off a shot and goal for the keeper to make a save. Yeah, that is true. But we did have a shot on target. I think Duncan McKenzie had a shot or two on target, at least one shot on target. That needs to improve. I think again, like the forward, depending on who the forward was. Yeah. We're just setting up to get going. So once my guest comes on, I will allow him to do some of the breakdown. Improvement needed, man. Is the coach made the right changes, but I guess he was feeling out Costa Rica with the starting 11. A next person will say that he made the right changes. A next person will argue that he started the wrong team. So there you have it. If somebody said, listen, if these were the right changes, he started the wrong team, I would not argue with them. There is a place to have that conversation. But all I'm saying is that we have to be careful that we don't become overly critical given the back stuff leading up to the game. Mannings, with your rewatch, why do you think Pearson got a 90-minute run? Curious to hear this explanation. Listen, I think the coach had a choice at halftime, all right, which is to remove Malachi Douglas or Christopher Pearson, all right? And that would have been the change. Pearson is the captain, and that could be the only reason. So he removed Malachi and brought on a midfielder and changed the system of the team. And that started working. All right. Now, I think if Pearson had come off, nothing would have been wrong with that. Because I think he could have also been substituted. All right. Agree with that. So that if somebody said to me, listen, he got that wrong, there's no argument because I would have substituted him. But then he's a captain, and maybe the coach wanted to see how he would go on further in the game. And by the time the goal, I think we had made a couple of substitutions. And so the midfield players in that position were basically on the field because except for Bicknell. So some person are saying maybe Bicknell should have come on. I'd love to see Bicknell to see what he offers as well. But so I guess let's see what adjustments will be made. But I would not argue with anyone who said that. All right. So yeah. So all right. So we have our guest. Welcome.
Yes, man, man. Thanks for having me.
As usual, man. You're welcome. You're welcome. We are so happy to have you. People, I know you're not seeing a face, but I have a high amount of respect for this. I don't want to say football guru, but this gentleman that you know him, he goes by the name M-10 Football, right? And I believe, this is my opinion, locally, from what I have seen, when it comes on to breaking down games, I think he does the best job from what I have seen in terms of the video work that he does. And to know that he's doing this without the right equipment, I can't imagine what he would do if he has the right equipment. So I am very happy to have you on, all right, today to help us to better appreciate what the team did and to be objective in our criticism of what went wrong and what tactical errors, if there were any, that the coach made, or tactical adjustment, let's put it that way, that he needs to make for the other games. So you just go ahead and tell me where you want to go, where you want to start.
All right, so you can go ahead and start the video.
Okay. All right. That's the last video that was sent. So let's get that video. I mean, I have so many of them. And let me see. Is it this one? All right. I think it is this one. So how do I do this? All right. Bam. All right, people. We're gonna figure this out. This is management learning the art of showing a video that I can't see. It's not here. All right. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I have a way of doing this. I hope it can hold here. So show the video, right? So let's do this.
Yeah.
And do this. And let's do it this way. Oops, the file is a bit too long. All right. So not that way. So let's go. All right, people coming. I'm figuring this out, right? There's a way to do it, and I know how to do it. All right. Share video file. There you go. Easy like a Sunday morning. That's it. Right, right, M-10. That's it, right?
Checking. Yes, that's it. All right, so you can carry it back and pause it where you see the drawings.
All right, so let me do that. So go back. Pause. All right, so let's go back to the drawings. All right, so
yeah, can stop it right there. Can pause it right there.
Yeah, so it's paused. Go ahead now.
All right, so evening, listeners, viewers. What we're just going to do is just look at how the teams set up basically. I think the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, many persons would agree with me that the team looked promising somewhat. It looked like we could create some chances and score goals. So all of this was down to how we were pressing. All right, so if you can notice there, based on our structure, we were pressing in a 4-2-3-1. All right, so you can see the players there. Scarlett leading the line. Campbell on the left there, Roberts and Pearson the front three with Duncan and Douglas being the double pivot. So the importance of all of this is basically how we try to match up with how Costa Rica build up out of the back. They basically use their back four with a single pivot to progress the ball. So basically they're playing a 4-3-3 formation with their number 10 and 14 playing as the attacking mids, and they normally occupy the half spaces. The number 6 is the single pivot and is one of the main players in the build-up. So what we can see here in the first clip, what we had was Scarlett basically cover shadowing that player, right? And with Douglas and Mackenzie, they basically picked up the two attacking mids,
Right.
which
Number 10
left
for
us.
Costa Rica right here.
Yeah.
Right. This
What
is
you have
Douglas.
with, yes. So what you have now, we have a 4 versus 3 overload at the back. All right. So run the clip a little bit. All right, you can pause it there. So that just shows, if you notice the timing of the game, that was basically 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes in the game. So it showed our back four clearly and our double pivot, right? So just go along, Manins. I'll pause it right there. Yeah. So in this instance, basically Scarlett was tasked to track the pivot. So they had to recycle the ball through their centre backs. And if you notice, Devante is close to the fullback on his side. So we know the matchups. If you look on the other side, basically Roberts would be tasked with the left fullback.
Right. Who would be almost like inline or further up the field, and the number 12. This is number 12 right here. Because this is a fullback. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Continue. So in this instance, as I said, Scarlett is the man picking up the pivot. Go ahead.
Okay.
Stop it there. Pause it. So as I explained, if you notice on this side, you have Roberts against the left fullback. So basically our pressing now, the ball will be played in behind. And if you observe, you'll realize that Duncan is the one tracking the attacking mid on that side. Because what they do, they try to maintain their shape in terms of the midfield triangle, which you'll see I highlight a little further on down the video. Go ahead.
Okay. Costa Rica is one of the top teams, above Canada, above Panama. So the fact that we got a result out of this, yeah, man. Listen, again, people. Sir M-10 gonna have to run and leave us right now, but want to big him up, thank him for coming on. His Father's Day, so I'm not going to keep him long. You understand me? So we can, yeah. So big up again. Again, check out his platform, people. Check out his channel. See it right there. Bam. There you go. M-10 football. There's a lot of videos over there when the games he break them down, trying to see if he can help me up on the top odds. Yeah, that's not with the games. But go and check him out. Again, thanks for coming on.
All right.
Big coach. Big up. All right. Yeah, so yes, people. So that is it. Let's again, I have confidence. I have confidence that the team will get things together. And so all of a sudden, Christopher Pearson should not play for the U-20. Zemini should not. We can't discuss the football. Like, you understand me? Zemini, he has a bad game. He should never play for the U. We can't discuss the football like that. That's all I'm saying to you. But it is your opinion. If you think if a player plays bad, they should never play back for Jamaica, then that's your opinion still enough. I am saying I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. We just have to allow the players. Because one day, right, the player that you want to play will have a bad game. And even if you believe that Pearson is the worst player on the field, that's okay. That doesn't mean that he's a bad player. A player can have a bad game. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I think, let me see, we have a caller. So let me see if we can set up this the call-in line. Hello?
Yes, man is man. It's Ian. How you doing?
I am doing good, man. Yes.
Yeah, man is man. I don't think it's about any individual player. That's the problem. I think what's happened over the past couple of years is a development in our football wherein it appears that persons are trying to sell or advertise players through national programs under various disguises. That right? It appears that way, yes. And so because of that, there are trust issues in our football and how it operates. Yeah. So people have good reason to think that there's bias in our football and that team selection is being done unjustly. It's not a matter of a scenario whereby a coach is picking a team for a particular tactical reason. The thinking and mindset among fans, from what I've gathered, is that the approach is to try to get players into national programs to give them an opportunity so that they can be seen by overseas clubs and hopefully get themselves into clubs overseas. And that's a notion that fans have. And I think, in my opinion, that is what is causing lack of support at the stadium and probably in corporate Jamaica, right? I think it's bigger than this one game whereby a player did not perform well, right? That is the issue. So fans are deeply frustrated.
Well, I understand that, but let me ask you this question. With this U-20 team, and let's stick to the game yesterday, the game that we played. Explain to me or suggest to me who should have played instead of who that would remove that perceived bias.
No. You can't use a single game to remove that perceived bias.
No, man, that's not what I'm asking. Not what I'm asking. I know that you can't. The perceived bias will be there. But I'm also sensing that people are believing that it was that bias that led to the team selection. What I am asking you, all right, is to give me players who should have started, that if those players had started, the perceived bias would not have been felt or spoken about.
And you're isolating this particular game, yes?
Because this is the game I'm talking about. I'm talking because this is the game.
Well, listen. You see, there's wording out there that Chris Pearson is injured. I don't know if it's true, right? But that's the word there, that he's injured and that Zimenez is not fully recovered. That's the word out there. Again, I can't tell if it's true or not, right? Because they could be carrying injuries. I don't know, right? But if it's in fact factual, they ought not be playing, right? If they are injured to the point whereby it inhibits the team's performance, right? Again, I'm just speaking based on hearsay. I'm not certain if they are indeed injured.
All right. I can speak specifically to Tariq Zimenez. Tariq Zimenez is a Mount Pleasant player, and he is not injured. I will also say this, that Tariq Zimenez is one of those players that don't need to play for Jamaica to move overseas.
And I agree with that one, where he's concerned. Because
so the one of the changes that people were suggesting is that Jamari Clark should have started over Zion Scarlett. I just want you to know that Zion Scarlett is quite comfortable at the club that he's at in the MLS. So him playing has nothing to do with trying to get him sold. What I want to do is to make sure we remove those things. The other...
Yeah, but man is man.
So let's go through it. We're going through it, right?
As I said, it's not about this one particular game.
Yeah, man. No, man.
It's like you're...
No, man, I agree with you that there is that perceived bias. But we're talking about the U-20 team. And what I don't want us to do, in all fairness to the players, is to take the issues that we have had with the senior team. Because the last U-20 tournament, the team did well. We have gone into a different phase of our football.
Hold on, stick up in.
Yeah.
Well is relative. We didn't qualify.
Okay, we didn't. All right.
So well is relative.
All right, so we didn't do well. I'm going to give you that. The last U-20 thing that we played in, we did not qualify, so we didn't do well. I'm going to give you that. All right? At that time, there was no perceived bias where player selection, right? Player selection was an issue. It's not like the program refused players. We have that issues with the senior men's team predominantly. In this U-20 team, it is for the first time, one of our U-20 teams did the kind of recruiting or looking at players. For the first time, we have players from out of England representing us. So to use that for the U-20 team, I think there is there's something else at work, because this is the first time in our history that we have, let's count them: Tyler Roberts, Kanaya, Jamari, Luke. That's 4. And if Dexter was okay, he would have played. We also have Zion Scarlett, right? We have Chad James. We have Kobe Thomas. The fact that these things are happening, it means that at the youth level, things have changed. But because we have the issue with the national team, I think we're taking it and we're dumping it on the U-20 team, which is not the case, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying, Ian. But I do agree with people.
Hold on. You see, all right. So let me isolate one particular issue. Given that the current coach, is affiliated with a club, right?
Yes.
Actively, and he's currently the coach of the under-20 team. You know, people may think that
he's not affiliated with Tivoli. He's a Waterhouse head coach.
No, I said affiliated with a particular team. Is what I said.
Waterhouse. Oh,
I know it's
sorry.
Waterhouse.
Yeah,
I know it's a Waterhouse
Yeah.
coach.
He's a
I
coach
know
at
that.
Waterhouse.
But what I'm saying, him being actively affiliated with that particular club, yes,
Yeah.
and being the national U-20 coach, immediately it sends the wrong signal. And right now, if I was the administrator at the JFF, I'd be very careful in coach selection, right? I'd be very mindful and careful in coach selection because of the risks associated, right, of what may happen. Yes, I'm not saying that it happened or it's gonna happen, but no, but you have to look at all the risk factors involved and what may happen.
So let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. There is one Waterhouse player on the team. One. All right?
In the 11?
One Waterhouse player on the entire team.
I think it's two.
One.
The goalkeeper, and Ramian Blake.
The goalkeeper is not a Waterhouse player.
Where is he from then?
The goalkeeper is a Cavalier registered player who trains with the Waterhouse goalkeeper coach.
I stand corrected.
The only Waterhouse player on the team is Ramian Blake, who really just started playing. Played only one game. Really, he's a JC player, was overseas at, I think, Inter Miami at the academy. Came, played Manning Cup. That's the only player. So if he decided that he would not have played in any club football, he would have been at a JC player. All right? So that's one. All right? Here's the thing. There are people who have also suggested that because the Waterhouse, Mr. Bicknell is a part of Waterhouse, and people were suggested, there are people, Ian, who think that Bicknell, the player, should be starting. Alexander Bicknell, good enough to start. Then there are people who are going to say, because people have said it, that the only reason why he made the team is because the coach a club when father run.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
But that is the point.
That's rubbish.
But
he's probably the best midfielder in that team.
Here's what. Because you agree with that player, you're going to call your argument rubbish. But the people who let me finish. The people who think Ramian Blake is not good, because one was on this platform who said that Ramian Blake should not be in the side because the only reason why he's on the side is because he's a Waterhouse player. I told people
my issue with Ramian is this.
No, but I need to finish my point.
That's my issue with him.
Let me finish my point. Because before I saw Ramian Blake play for JC, the first time I saw him, I told people that he is the best youth footballer in all of Jamaica. Before he kicked the ball for JC. So whichever club he was at, I think he has good enough quality to be in the team. Is he the finished product? Definitely not. But let me tell you, the trajectory for his development and progress is very high. So I believe I'm not
denying that.
What?
I'm not denying that, but my issue with him is that if you're playing through the back and you have him as a sweeper, I think that's okay. But if you're using two centre backs, with his height, he may have challenges, of course, in the air, right? So that's my issue with him. I'm not denying his quality as a player, because we remember Duran Brown, right, and his quality, but we are playing through at the back, and he was excellent for Jamaica back in the days.
Duran Brown played even with two at the back. I can give you, Blake is going to grow some more, but Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or.
How tall is Blake, by the way?
I don't know his height. I can't. But he's 16 years old. All right? But Cannavaro, I agree with you that when you play in certain teams, but for the most part, in these Central American teams, they normally have short players. So he may be able to get away with that whole height thing. All right? All right? But when you're probably going to playing in Europe, because he's actually a CDM who can play center back or right back, very good player. He's going to go
well.
But for people,
Well, CDM.
no,
for CDM.
Yeah.
For CDM, I think he'd be a damn good CDM.
But that's what he plays.
A CDM.
I don't want us to digress because the point I'm making.
No, I'm not.
No, man. What I'm saying though is that what I don't like is like people saying Zimenez is not good and like. Come on, it's one game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we know, but
I think we too.
You see the issue. You see the issue with Chris Pearson. All right, you highlighted. I agree with you about Romain Blake because on your same show in the comment section, I was saying that I watched some clips of Romain Blake and I saw quality in him, right? But I prefer him at CDM, right?
Yes.
And I see the quality in him. Honestly, I think Chris Pearson needs to be developed more as a central midfielder, right? In my humble opinion, I don't think he's at this level yet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Because even I think a Bicknell, a Douglas, I think these are better players than him.
Okay.
Right? And he needs to work on a lot of things. His passing. He needs to work on his passing and passing the ball firmly because you are the CM in the team, the box to box. You're supposed to be linking up play. You're supposed to collect it from the defense and feeding up front, back and forth. He's not doing that because so he has a problem. I'm not saying he can't develop enough. He can develop good structure, good height, but he needs development, right? And again, opinion, you are giving the captain armband to a player who does not command a starting position. Again, that's my opinion. Yeah. Based on what I've seen from the other players.
Okay. In the one game.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about watching him play for Cavaliers.
Okay, and in his play for Cavaliers,
even the club championship, he played, right?
Yeah, man, he played in the club championships.
Yeah, even those games I watched him, and I watched him play for Cavaliers, and I have the same concern in all the games, and I have the same concern in the game that we played previously. So I've been watching the player in several games, and I'm watching the full 90s.
Listen, I'm not going to be here, Ian, and defending. If somebody said, listen, in my opinion, he should not start based on his last performance, I cannot argue.
No, not last performance.
No, man.
I'm talking about a series of games. Right. In fact, from his first Premier League game. I'm talking from his first Premier League game.
No. Listen, the first Premier League games that this guy played.
I am telling you from when I start watching him.
So let me tell you this.
In his first Premier League goal, he had an assist. He had a goal. I know that.
All right. If you watch
his first Premier League game,
Premier League
games, and a goal.
If you watch the first 4 Premier League games, even of Christopher Pearson, you would say this player has quality. Maybe, right?
Hold on. Okay, in those games, he's playing against teams that are not actively pressing, right? Probably because of fitness level or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't properly challenged.
Yeah, but Ian, we can't
right? Again, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, man. And I agree. Here's where I struck, right? I hear you, but we can't use his poor performance.
I'm not using one game on his man. I'm not using one game.
All right.
I'm going back from when he started.
No, man. But you're not letting me finish. All right. So I played 5 games against JPL teams, and I look good in those. All right? I'm not going to judge you based on those things because those teams are impressive. I play a game against Costa Rica, and I'm going to judge you on that because those teams are
The
impressive.
games in the club championship. What about those games?
How many games in the club?
How did it look?
How many games in the club championship?
I don't remember much games. I think they played at least 3 games in the club championship.
And how much did he play? He didn't play all of them.
He was in all those games.
Go and check the time that he played because remember he got injured, man.
Yeah, but he was playing.
Okay, but he got injured.
Listen.
Yes.
My issue is this. And this is an opinion again.
Yes.
I don't think he commands a place in the starting 11 because I think Bicknell, Douglas are better than him.
Okay.
And so I don't think he could. And if Splat was there, or Anderson, chances are he probably wouldn't be in the squad. Because I don't know if you ever watched Splat play or Anderson play. But those boys are quality.
Yeah. But we have to work with who is there. And maybe that is true. You know,
What I'm saying, Mannings, it's a serious risk having someone that requires additional development for this level as your captain and your CM. It's a danger.
But what I'm saying, though,
look at the goal we conceded.
Right.
Where the goal started, we conceded. Where did it start?
Ian, you miss it. Like I'm not. You're making it sound like how you're talking to me. You're making it sound like I am saying to you that he played good yesterday.
I didn't say that.
But that's what I'm saying. So I know that he made a pass. So we don't need to go into that because that is not the issue I have. I don't have the issue with you saying, listen, if we had better players, he should not be starting. That's okay. That's absolutely right. That's right. I am saying I have an issue with people saying that he's not good and that he shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't do that to the youth. They shouldn't say he's not good. People shouldn't say he's not good. People shouldn't say that.
And let me say this to Mr. The Bartley person. I think you're related to Jamon Barkley. I want you to remember this. The same people that you're in here agreeing with, the day that he plays and make a bad pass, are the same people who are going to come back in the same chat with you and say that and say that he should never put on the Jamaican colors. I am saying that we are too extreme in our treatment of our youth footballers. They played 1 game in the tournament, having not had the performance, and all of a sudden, none of them are good. And schoolboy football is a waste of time. None of them. So they need to stop. We can't be like that. So you don't think people are saying it? Here is it. Man is man, but the man no good. And it's a fact. So people do believe that. And they use in the game, the 1 game, to say that he's not good. And I have an issue with that. Did he perform well? Absolutely not. He is a good player. And if you want to say good is relative, he is a good player. Tyler Roberts, Pearson is a good player. Tyler Roberts didn't have a good game, but he is a good player. Zemenis didn't have a good game, but he is a good player. Am I saying that he's better than Messi? No, but he is a good player. That's all I'm saying. We can't be like that, man. I think
man, there's one point. Again, I'm not saying that the players are not good.
No, man, you're different. Go ahead.
But what I will say is that the players that we're using for these particular tournaments, we should ensure that at least they command a place in a JPL or JPL2 team, because I know like Malachi Douglas plays for Chapelton Maroons, right? So at least one of those levels can come on a place in a starting 11, right? So the player should not be somebody who is essentially venturing from the local schoolboy league and don't have any club experience. Because if you're looking at at the opponents of your major challengers, you'll find that these players are actively playing in the related leagues, right? So because you have to look at your opponents and what they're doing, and match up players accordingly when you're doing team selection. Yes,
Yeah.
This is why probably US gave a team 10-0 last night, right? Because of quality difference. So we have to be very careful how teams are being selected. I'm not saying this is the case in this situation because they did a mass scouting and they got a number of players from wherever. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that subject.
Yeah, what I'll say to people is that just bear in mind that all the players from overseas, with the exception of Jaden Anderson, who actually went to William Knibb High School, he's in the States now or Canada. He's the only one who didn't play. And Bicknell and the reserve goalkeeper, all the players actually played. All right. Will there be changes and selection? Fine. I really wanted the team to win. We had a draw. Could the team have played better? Should have, and they could have. Pearson had a bad game. Zemini is a player that I like. He's probably going to be in Europe by the end of this year. He needs to work on his game. I think Duncan McKenzie, a player that I like, very classy player, but he needs to work on his game. None of these players are the finished product.
You see the problem, man, with that, man.
Development.
You see with that?
They need go ahead. Yeah.
You see with that? We don't want them to fall in the same trap as a Tariq Magee, whereby when they venture overseas, the deficiencies come back to haunt them, right? That's what we don't want to happen to them. Because again, my humble opinion, I think if all persons remain fit, next couple of years, Azanda Bicknell will be way ahead of the players you just mentioned.
Well, that's your opinion, and I'm very sure that Tariq Zemini's handlers will say in the next couple of years he's going to be better than all the players that you're mentioning. That's all opinion. We can't argue opinion. Everybody's opinion. I could say to you, Devante.
Yeah.
I could say to you, Devante Campbell in the next couple of years going to be ahead of all of these players. So that's just opinion. Zion Scarlett handlers will say, listen, the next couple of years, Zion Scarlett going to be ahead of every player. That's just opinion. We can't determine people's progression in a prophetic sense because we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
The truth is that sometimes, like even with the Magee situation, okay, Magee went over there and he had some struggles. All right. But Kaheem Paris went there and he did well. Shamar Nicholson went there and they were young players as well. Kaheem Paris even went overseas younger than Magee. And whatever deficiencies he had, he never come back to Jamaica to work on them. He stayed there and he developed them. So as much as there was a coaching deficit in Magee's, maybe Magee need to take up some of that in his own hand and say, listen, well, I'm very sure Kaheem Paris didn't learn all of these things. So how was he able to stay? Shamar Nicholson didn't learn all of these things. So how was he able to stay? Magee at some point needs to look at his own self and say to himself, listen, yeah, my coaches didn't do some things, but I could have developed those things. Because that's not just the coaching deficit alone. Because other players went overseas who were under some of those same coaches and they made it.
True.
So he has to look into himself and say, listen, I was part of the problem. We need to stop blaming people for our daily misunderstanding because life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
Norman Campbell could have come back and out. He's working on his game. And people talk about how he's improving and say when you see him again, how he's going to look. You have to have the right attitude. And you hear me on this program, Ian. Listen, I'm not afraid to tell the young players. When I see them, I say, listen, this is why I have such respect for Devontae Campbell because I see him, maybe because he's in the Mount Pleasant system. He doesn't party, him don't drink. This girlfriend, all of them things. The youngster is focused on football. And I agree with people that many of these players are told. And remember when I told you all, including Barkley, Lewis Watson, I told you the KC team, there were big men playing against schoolboys. And when you're 19 and 18, you should not be playing against 14 and 13 years old. Because you're seeing if Christopher Pearson is playing against a 13-year-old and scoring 10, that you can't measure him. So the same,
the quality time is not measurable.
The same people who are talking about these players, here is what they do. When their school are in place, they want these players to play because they want to win school. But they don't care about the player development at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
They do not care. And then they come on platforms. As long as their school win, they don't care about the player development. And the same people come back on platforms and curse the players. Say they are no good because they are no longer playing for their schools. As soon as the kids the kids leave their school, them no good. Maggie no good. Pearson no good. Zemini is no good. Then forget Dashway. But when they were playing for their schools, they were the same ones hyping them up.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying though. And I think it all comes back to local football and the development of same. It comes back to that. So it's a matter of trying to find a way to develop youth football in Jamaica, because after leaving high school, how do they progress forward? And that's a problem, because the progression needs to continue after schoolboy football, because sometimes they can't readily get into a JPL starting level. But what happens in between that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, man is man. I'm gonna run leave you. Enjoy the program, and I enjoy the tactical analysis from your guests. So
M10
Miller.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right,
man. Take care. Respect.
All right, then. Cool.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks again. All right, people. Listen, we're gonna run now because I want you to jump over and watch the triple treat and go over there. Hey, we're going to go over there. Who Coach Minzy, you're pressure the man. Tell him to give you in perspective. Tell him some money's man. Send on over there. Ask him about the players. Understand me? But listen. Somebody saying that. Let me give you a couple of updates. Maggie scheduled to is unscheduled. He plays on the reserve team at his club. It is not as easy as some of these backseat drivers. He's still young. Who saw him play against Catalonia sees improvement. All right. AQ, Pearson is one of only 2 players that have been called to the senior team. So how that happened? You can't make that argument about Pearson. All right. No, man, but Zeminis has been called up to the senior team as well. And Devontae Campbell was called up. Remember, he was in it for the Peru game. Listen, people, I totally agree with you all that Pearson's performance was not good and he must improve. In fact, if he doesn't improve, he must be benched. And I keep on telling you, I am not into this thing where top players. No, if you're not performing, you sit on the bench. I have no issues with that. The only issue I have is that after a bad performance, we can be too hard on some of the players. And listen, if they do it to me, they will do it to you. That's a scene with, listen, that's a scene where they're going to treat the kids. And all I'm asking the fans to do is to give the players an extra. I think Zion Scarlett is a good player who never had the best game. But this is a quality player. I think Kobe Thomas came on, good quality player, but he didn't display a lot of his skills. I think Zeminis has a lot of quality. I mean, this guy was playing in the JPL I think at 16. So these guys have a lot of quality. They need improvement, right? And this will probably help them. So instead of being overly critical, just you understand me? Just encourage them. You understand me? And if you have dialogue with Pearson, you go on these guys thing. I mean, hey, listen, baller, bad game, do better next time. That's it. We have to deal with our youth in a different way, man. We have to deal with our youngsters in a different way. And I expect a whole lot more from them. Hey, what can... Hey, what about Sterling to Chelsea? Anyway, come out of the place here, man, about Sterling to Chelsea. Go here too. He's an exceptional passer, but something seems off. Pearson, how can you choose to not use the first 5 games? Because they weren't pressing. That's funny. Some deserve it because we expect better from Zemeniz, Rochester, and Pearson. Yeah. Listen, people, you are supposed to criticize the players. You have to criticize and be a critique of the game. But don't go overboard with the youngsters. Listen, I hear people, and I think because of even with Whisper, some people are so disrespectful of Whisper. It's unbelievable. You may not be in agreement with everything around him, but leave the youngster. I've never heard the youngster come on any platform and be disrespectful or, proclaim himself to be the greatest. I've never heard Pearson come out and say, listen, I'm a big baller. People say those things about him. We don't even know that he believes it, We don't know if he even operates like he is. And people just come out and say, hey, Pearson a big baller, Pearson a big baller. And all of a sudden, we take what people say and we start cuss Pearson. Say you're going like you're hype and you're not known baller. When the youth have never even said the words. Same thing with Zemeniz. I've spoken to him. If you see him on the road and say, Tariq, you need to pass the ball. You know what he's going to say to you? Yes, sir. You're talking the truth, sir. Yet we come on these platforms and we treat them the way. I am telling you, if you interact with them, if you say, listen, I watched your last game and you made 3 bad passes, they listen to you. I have spoken to them. So don't make it seem like they are going around projecting themselves to be big ballers and all of that. No, people say that. You have not heard it from them. You have not heard it from them. So I will end with that, but I want to thank M-10, for his input today. Very, very great input. Yeah, somebody saying, Whisper don't even talk, he whispers. Eagle Republic. That's a good way to end the show. Listen, for those of you who miss it, let me just drop something from Mr. Rodney Price for all the fathers out there.
Hey yo, yellow, hear up all fathers who are hold the harders, bun sperm down around ya. Me hear up all the genuine fathers. Over the years, you hear me bigging up the mothers. But right I know it's about the hard-working fathers, holding down the family like soldiers on the borders. Well, some are carpenter and some are farmers, some are police and teachers, some of them are warders. But me say all of them are hard-working fathers, holding down the family like soldiers on the borders. Hey yo, yellow, you know.
Yeah, all right. yeah, man. There you go, M-10. I think Whisper and Pearson get treated bad because they're with bullet and speed. I think so. I think some of the times the reason why they get criticized is because of their affiliation. Because the players don't talk, I have never heard Whisper come out and talk about his own career or anything. And people disrespect the youth. Neither has I heard Zebedees or even Pearson. Listen, even Duncan McKenzie, humble youth that I am telling you, if you saw them and said, listen, let me tell you something about your game, they would listen to you. So Owen says, I must keep on encouraging them and say, you keep on beating them for balance. All right, boss. Then finally, M-10 says, the youngsters are just trying their best to represent themselves, friends and family and country. And the way these fans dealing with them is awful. Understand me? So, yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, and I think after the tournament, I'm going to let them talk. The players, they are so. I have to tell some of them sometimes. You don't have to say, sir. Romy and Blake is like a little kid. I'm telling you. So let's just be measured in the terms that we use to discuss them. You see, I have kids in sport, and I wouldn't want my kid to be playing football and representing the country, and people kind of get cross, hungry, and miserable to the point where it borders on being disrespectful. But I want to thank you for spending 2 hours of your Father's Day with me. Really a pleasure having you. It was a very good show. Very grateful for the input from M-10 Football. If you didn't watch the show from the beginning, you need to go and check it out and watch the breakdown, the tactical breakdown that we did of the game against the Costa Rican team. Tomorrow at 9:30, we'll be going up against 9:30 Jamaican time. We're going up against Honduras. It is the last game in the evening, right? So it's going to be a late game. So we're going to be having a watch along. You can join us for that. But we also be doing something for the 2 JPL games tomorrow. All right. So yeah, man. So blessings. Thank you to every single person. Listen, enjoy the Father's Day. Make sure that you have. Hey, work. Outer E says all geldings go to bed now. You hear that? All right, people. But bless up. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Manningsman. This has been I Am Sure Sports, and we are over. And you did.
Yo, watch your bad dog, SK New heard this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherville, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.